Good morning students. Today we are going to see about 7th standard social science, term 3, history, unit 3, Jainism, Buddhism and Ajviha philosophy in Tamil Nadu. So first let's see about introduction. During the 6th century BC, according to the Bhihanida, as many as 62 different philosophical and religious schools flourished in India. However, among these numerous sects, only the Ajvigas survived till the late medieval times. But Jainism and Buddhism continued to flourish until the modern times. Buddha and Mahavira, the founder of these two faiths, based their ethical teachings against the sacrificial cult of Vedic religion. Their teachings were preserved and passed on through monks who were drawn from various social groups. The next topic, sources and literature. So first see about Jainism. Mahavira's preaching was orally transmitted by his disciples over the course of about 1000 years. In the early period of Jainism, monks strictly followed the 5 great vows of Jainism. Even religious scriptures were considered possessions and therefore knowledge of the religion was never documented. 200 years after the attainment of nirvana, that means death, of Mahavira, Jain scholars attempt to codify the canon by convening an assembly at Padaliputra. It was the first Jain council to debate the issue, but it ended as a failure because the council could not arrive at an unanimous decision in defining the canon. A second council held at Vallabi in the 5th century AD was, however, successful in resolving the differences. This enabled the scholars of the time to explain the principles of Jainism with certainty. Also, over time, many learned monks, older in age and rich in wisdom, had compiled commentaries on various topics pertaining to the Jain religion. Around 500 AD, the Jain Aharas, that is teachers, realized that it was extremely difficult to keep memorizing the entire Jain literature compiled by the many scholars of the past and present. In fact, significant knowledge was already lost and the rest was tampered with modifications. Hence, they desired to document the Jain literature as known to them. The 5 great vows of Jainism are non-violence, that means ahimsa; truth, that is satya; non-stealing, that is ashaurya; chastity, brahmacharya; non-possessions, aparihara. A major split occurred in Jainism the 1st century BC, giving rise to 2 major sects, namely Digambaras and Svetambaras. Both the Digambaras and the Svetambaras generally acknowledge the Ahama Sutras to be their early literature, while they do differ with regard to their content and interpretation. Jain literatures. The Jain literatures is generally classified into 2 major categories, that is Ahama Sutras and non-Ahama literature. Ahama Sutras consists of many sacred books of the Jain religion. They have been written in the Ardha Mahathi Prakrit language containing the direct preaching of Mahavira. Consisting of 12 texts, they were originally compiled by immediate disciples of Mahavira. The 12th Ahama Sutra is said to have been lost. The second one, non-Ahama literature. Non-Ahama literature includes commentary and explanation of Ahama Sutras and independent works compiled by ascetics and scholars. They are written in many languages such as Prakrit, Sanskrit, Old Marathi, Rajasthani, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, German and English. Recognition was given to 84 books, and among them there are 41 sutras, 12 commentaries and 1 Mahabhashya or great commentary. The 41 sutras include 11 ankas, that is scriptures followed by Svatambaras, 12 Ubhangas, instruction manuals, 5 Chetas, rule of conduct for the monk, 5 Mulals, basic doctrine of Jainism, and 8 miscellaneous works such as Kalapa Sutra of Bharata Bahu. It is believed that the Panchatantra has a great amount of Jain influence. In addition to these have some Jain texts composed in Indian vernacular languages such as Hindi, Tamil and Kannada. Sivaha Sindhamani, a Tamil epic poem, is a good example, composed in the tradition of Sangam literature by a Jain saint named Tirutakadevar. It narrates the life of the pious king who rose to prominence by his own merit only to become an ascetic in the end. Another scholarly work in Tamil, Naladiyar, is also attributed to a Jain monk. Tirukural was composed by Tiruvalluvar, believed to be a Jain scholar. So, Jain in Tamil Nadu. There are clear evidence of the movements of the Jain from Karnataka to the Kongu region, Salem, Erode and Coimbatore areas, to the Kaveri Delta, Tiruchirappalli, southwards into Pudukkottai region, Siddannavasal temple, and finally into the Pandya kingdom, Madurai, Ramanathapuram and Tirunelveli districts. Tamils broadly come under Tigambara sect. It is believed that the Kalapras were the patrons of Jainism. The Siddannavasal cave temple in Pudukkottai district is located on a prominent rock that stands 17 meters above the ground. It has a natural cavern known as Eladi Pattanam at one end and a rock-cut cave temple at the other. Behind the fenced cavern, there are 17 rock beds marked on the floor. The stone were allied in rows are believed to have served as a Jain shelter. The largest of these Aztec beds contains a Tamil Brahmi inscription that dates to the 2nd century BC. There are more inscriptions in Tamil from the 8th century AD, bearing the names of monks. It believed that they should have spent their lives in isolation here. The Siddannavasal cave temple, named Arivar Koil, lies on the west of the hillock, the face of the temple in symbol, with 4 rock-cut columns constructed in the early Pandya period in the 7th century AD. It has a hall in the front called the Ardha Mandapam. and the smaller cell at the rear, which is the Garbhagriha, sanctum place. The murals in the temple resemble the facades of famous Ajanta caves. The Archaeological Survey of India took over the caves only in 1958. Thereafter, it took 2 decades to cover the cave and regulate the entry of visitors. There are the bas relief figures of Tirthankaras on the left wall of the hall and the Acharyas on the right before one enters in the inner chamber, the sanctum sanctorum. The next topic, Jains in Kanchipuram. Tirupparuthikundram. Jain flourished during the Pallava region. In his writings, Chinese traveller Huan Xuan has mentioned about the presence of large number of Buddhists and Jains during his visit to the Pallava country in 7th century AD. Most of the Pallava rulers were Jains. Mahendravarman was a Jain initially. The 2 Jain temples in Kanchipuram are Trilokyanta Jainaswami temple at Tirupparuthikundram on the banks of the river Palar and the Chandraprabha temple dedicated to the Tirthankara named Chandraprabha. The architecture of these temples is in Pallava style, but it has deteriorated in due course of time. During the Vijayanagar rule, Irugappa, a disciple of Jain Muni, Pushpasena and minister of Vijayanagar king Harihara II, expanded the Trilokyanta temple by adding the Sangeeta Mandapa. The grand mural were added only at this time. Mural paintings in the temple show scene from the life of Tirthankaras. Unfortunately, the paintings of the Triloya Nanda temple at Tirupparuthikundram have been ruined by overpainting done during renovation. There is rich inscriptional evidence inside the second shrine, the Trikuda Pasti, containing information on the development of the temple and the contributions of various donors over the centuries. In the Kanchipuram district, apart from Tirupparuthikundram, Jain vestiges have been found over the year in many villages across the state. Kalugumalai Jain rock cut temple. So, the 8th century Kalugumalai temple in Kovilpatti Taluk in Thoothukudi district marks the revival of Jainism in Tamil Nadu. This cave temple was built by King Parandaga Nedunjediyan of the Pandyan kingdom. Polished rock cut cave beds, popularly known as Panjavar Padukai at Kalugumalai Kavan, host the figure of not only the Tirthankaras but also the figures of Yakshas and Yakshis, male and female attendants respectively. Jain temple in other parts of Tamil Nadu. So, the first Vellore. 14 Jain monk beds dating back to the 5th century AD have been excavated inside 3 caverns on top of a hill in Vellore district. The beds found at the Bhairava Malai in Latheri, Katpadi Taluk, Vellore district. Of the 3 caverns, 2 of them house beds. One houses 4 rock beds, while the other houses 1 bed, unlike many rock beds found elsewhere. These ones have no headrest. Next, Tirumalai. Tirumalai is a Jain temple in a curved complex located near Arni, town in Tiruvannamalai district in Tamil Nadu. The complex dated to the 12th century AD includes 3 Jain caves, 2 Jain temples and a 16-meter high sculpture of Neminanda, the second Tirthankara. This image of Neminanda is considered to be the tallest Jain image in Tamil Nadu. Madurai. There are 26 caves, 200 stone beds, 60 inscriptions and over 100 sculptures in and around Madurai. The Kilakuyil Kudi is a striking example. This hillock is 12 kilometers west of Madurai on the Madurai-Theni highway. The sculptures are assigned to the period of Prathanga Veera Narayana Pandian, who ruled from AD 860 to 900. There are 8 sculptures. The images of Rishabhanath or Adinand, Mahavira, Parshvant and Bahubali are found here. The next topic is contribution to education. So, the Jain contribution to education. So, Jaina monasteries and temples also served as seats of learning. Education was imparted in these institutions to the people irrespective of caste and creed. The Jainas propagated their doctrines and proved to be a potential media of mass education. The Bhairavamalai we have mentioned earlier is situated near a small village called Kukkarapalli. Palli is an education center of Jains and village bearing the suffix of Palli are common in many places in Tamil Nadu. The education institutions had libraries attached to them. Several books were written by the preachers of Jainism, highlighting the important aspect to Jainism. The permission for women to enter into the order provided an impetus to the spread of education among women. The next religion, Buddhism. So, children, the Buddhism we discuss about next class. Okay, children, thank you.